Hi, I'm Michelle, your moderator and host for tonight. Okay, our today topics is caring for your kidney. So did you ever notice that kidney plays an important role for regulating the internal water environment for our body? Or do you wish to know how to protect your kidney? So let's welcome our product consultant, Dr. Ibrahim, to start his topic tonight. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Michelle, and good evening, everyone. Um, Thank you all for setting aside some time to come and be a participant in this webinar. Just a quick introduction to the webinars. We have 2 webinars a month at the moment, and we try to cover a new topic each time. Of course, at some point in time, we might repeat certain topics, but I can assure you that in case you find it you find that the topic is the same, there will be new information coming in. Now, Teddy is having some echo in the way I speak. Is this okay? Am I sounding all right? Okay, that's right. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, we want things to be very clear so that you can benefit from what we have to share here this evening. Now, the kidneys are a very important of the body. You may be surprised that the body supplies 25% of all the blood flow to the kidneys alone. We have 2 kidneys and it consumes 25% of the blood flow every minute. By the way, the brain 20%. Now, both together, 45% of your blood, which means the rest of the body actually doesn't need all that much. These are 2 very important organs, and the kidney is particularly important. Of course, the brain is even more important. If there is a problem with the brain, then the results are known immediately. However, with the kidneys, if you have a problem, it takes time to manifest. Now, one of the things that we need to look at is how to maintain kidneys. Why do we want to do this? If you can look around, you will find that in the place that you live, you definitely know someone who has a friend or a relative who's having dialysis done, who has been operated for kidney stones, who has some kidney problem, he is on follow-up with the specialist and so on. So it is important that we know something about the kidney from the point of how to avoid getting into such problems. More so because it is so easy to prevent kidney problems. Now, before we get into the main topic, I would like to put some basic information, or in fact some of you know this, to remind you of some basic information. Now, our body is made up of 10 trillion cells. Now, this number is the lowest that I can find. Some estimates go up to 100 trillion cells. I put 10 trillion, let's be on the conservative side. Every day, each cell has something like 10,000 chemical reactions going on. So you can do the math. If you multiply 10 trillion by 10,000, the number is very astronomical. Now, what goes on in these reactions? I have listed only 3 because the slide is too small. We have to have it in 3 languages. But these are the main things. Minerals, yeah, about 60 plus, 65 or so. Enzymes, known enzymes, 50,000. And then there is even a larger number of biochemical substances that are floating around in every cell. All of these reactions are taking place to keep us alive, to give us all the reactions, the maintenance that goes on in the body. Now, if you look at a cell, you would be surprised that it is a very complicated thing. I have a picture here. Now, you might wonder, this looks more like a ball than a cell. Now, all diagrams of cell come as two dimension. So we tend to forget a cell is actually three dimension, and within it, it's a very complicated piece of mechanism. Every cell in the body. In fact, there are people who specialize only on cells. They are called cytologists. Now, the previous slide that I showed you, all this minerals, enzyme, biochemicals, 10,000 reactions going on in this one cell. The only way this can happen is if we have enough fluids in the cell. And we are made up of a lot of water. Now, some books, or rather some literature will claim 80%, 90%, no. Now, medical textbook says it is anything between 60 to 70%. Okay, the younger people tend to have more fluid in the body. It's not something wrong because they have more hormones. It makes them look younger. The youngest will be a baby. If you look at the baby, you will find that the baby has very chubby cheeks. But the chubby cheeks will not hang down. There won't be wrinkles because a baby can hold more water. As we grow older, the percentage keeps going down. And if we do not drink enough water, we become chronically dehydrated. In fact, we might get premature wrinkles if we don't take enough fluids on a regular basis. So the total body, 60 to 70% water by weight. And how is this water distributed? If you look at the cell, for all that to go on, you need a lot of water. That's why 2/3 of all the water in the body is inside the cell. The cells have to be bathed in fluid, and we have fluid outside also, but that is only 1/3. And this 1/3 also includes the blood. The blood is is a small percentage of this 1/3. In other words, we have a lot of water in the body, and it is absolutely necessary, if I may go back to the old slide again, to have all these reactions going on. We need a lot of water, and why we have so much fluid in the body. Now, when you have so much fluid, there must be some mechanism to regulate this. It must be regulated for acidity, alkalinity, what we call pH. It must be regulated by volume, otherwise we will just start bloating up. Or if the water just leaks out of the body, we'll just shrink like a prune. Now, all this must be regulated not only for volume, but also for the concentration of different substances in the cell, so that when the chemical reactions take place, it has got enough raw material. Now, this is done by the kidneys, and this is such an important thing that we have two kidneys. Okay, what do the kidneys do? Only filter? No, let's look at the function that they do. In fact, they do three types of things. Of course, the main one is filtration, and this is only one part of the three-step process that takes place in the kidney. The first part is a very gross filtration. So the waste matter is filtered, but because it is gross, the waste matter comes out along with some things that are still important to the body. That also escapes along with the waste matter. So the body has a method of getting back the good things. It does that by reabsorption here. So the first one is filtration, and just before the waste matter is sent out, the kidney also reabsorbs what is beneficial to the body. Now, in between, there is an active process. Filtration doesn't require much energy. That's why we call it passive. But to secrete something out, you need an active process. Why do we need to secrete? There are some things that will not come out with filtration, but needs to be thrown out. So the kidney has a second type of function where it actively takes it from the blood through the kidney cells into the tube where the urine is forming and throws it out. So the kidney has three functions. The function is basically to throw out waste matter that is soluble in water. That's why we need water. That's why we pass urine. It must be soluble in water to come out in the kidney. So filtration, second part is actively throwing out what we don't want, and finally, before the whole thing is voided as urine, the kidney quietly absorbs what is needed. So what comes out is only waste matter. Now, for this, we have what is called filtering units. Now, the kidney doesn't act as a filter on its own. Each kidney is actually a collection of filtering units. As you can see from the figure and the numbers there, each kidney has about 1.3 million of these units. Wow, that's a lot actually. So we have about 2.6 million per person. You know how much is enough? If you have about 500,000 filtering units, you can live like a normal person. In other words, all of us have two kidneys. You can donate one kidney and you still have twice the amount of kidney filtering units that you need. That is one of the reasons because we have so much reserve, many people don't realize they have a kidney problem. The body adjusts, the remaining part of the kidney takes over the function, and they feel all right in spite of the fact that their kidneys may be running into problem. So we have amazing amount of reserve. Now, why do we have this reserve? There is another reason for that. The body doesn't use all the filtering units at the same time. About 15 to 20% work at any given time. Then they need a little bit of rest. Then the rest takes over. Okay, another 20%. So it is like a relay system so that each unit gets enough rest. Now, how does each unit look? I have a diagram here. Now, this is just to show you. This is for the first part where all the coils are. This smooth U-tube is the second part, and the third part is this one. Also coil, but less than the first part. You remember we have three different functions. The first one is filtration. Second one is where it is actively thrown out, waste matter. And the last part before it goes out, there is reabsorption of the body is needed. So basically this is how the kidney is organized. Where is the kidney placed? Many people show kidneys when they have a backache. They say, I think my kidney may have a problem. Now the kidneys are quite high in the abdominal cavity. In fact, it is almost at the level of the liver, a little bit inside. So if you clench your fist, put both the fists to the back and you push both the fists up as much as you can, that is the level, which is about halfway up your back. Okay. Now, these are living organs. Now, you need to make sure that you provide what they need, avoid what damages them, and make sure they do not fall ill, just like a person. And then you can get the maximum function out of these two organs all your life. Okay. Now, the first thing you need is fluid. As I mentioned earlier, to clear soluble waste matter from the body, it has to come out through the urine. Urine is fluid, so you need to have enough fluids. I will expand on that. Then you must have normal pressure and so on and so forth. So let's start with the first one. Now, fluids. What do we mean by that? Now, sorry. The slides ran a little bit. Okay. Now, fluids. Now, if you look at fluids, the body needs to form a minimum of 700 ml of urine per day just to stay alive. So you need to pass out at least twice the amount of this urine, about 1.4, 1.5 liters of urine per day. Now, if you have to pass out 1.5 liters of urine per day, you have to drink more. You have to drink close to about 2 liters of water. Why? When we talk, we lose water. When we sweat, we lose water. So when you calculate all that, you need even more water. So 2 liters is quite good in our climate. If you are working outside and sweating, pouring sweat, if you are an athlete, or if you exercise and you sweat a lot, you have to drink even more. But how do we measure all this? One good way of doing it is to just look at the urine that you pass out. Many people don't even watch the urine that they're passing out. I ask, what color is your urine? Most patients say, and they go on stretching without answering. I have to tell them, is it yellow in color? Yeah, yellow. Now, yellow, you're not drinking enough water. If you drink enough water, your urine should be clear, absolutely clear. So you must try to maintain clear urine. That is one simple way of knowing you're getting enough fluids. As I mentioned earlier, fluid requirement varies, not only for different people, even for the same person. Today you have a lot of work, you have to run out here, there, all over the place, you're not in office, you'll be sweating more, you lose more water, more water to drink. Okay, so make sure you have a bottle of water and help your kidney by helping it to throw out this waste matter in an efficient way without having to strain the kidney. Not enough water, the kidney has to concentrate all the waste matter. If the waste matter is concentrated in the urine, some of the concentration can precipitate. Calcium precipitates, uric acid precipitates. This can form stones. So the amount of water you drink is important. Make sure you do not count coffee, tea, and cola drinks as part of this. The amount of water that you need to drink should be only for clear fluids. Why? If you take coffee, 1 cup, coffee and tea helps you to pass out more urine. So if you take a cup of coffee, you will pass out more than 1 cup of urine. In fact, when you take coffee or tea, you have lost water from your body. So you have to drink a little bit more. So make sure that the calculation is based only on clear fluid. Now, I put stimulants here because coffee and tea are stimulants. So this is the number one requirement, fluids. Let's look at the next one. You see, if you look at the, if you remember the filtering unit I showed you, it's a tube. For the kidney to function well in all these filtering unit tubes, they require a certain amount of pressure. Only then the fluid can filter. For efficient filtration, there must be pressure. Take your water filter, for example. If you don't have enough pressure in the water, it will not filter. And some places the pressure is so low because the houses are above the reservoir or something like that. Your water filter may require an extra fitting to increase the pressure. So there is a certain amount of pressure needed in the blood system to form adequate amount of urine. If the pressure is low, you form less urine. If the pressure is high, you form more urine. Now, the system is built in such a way, low pressure, it can tahan. If the pressure is more, than what it can withstand, there's going to be kidney damage. So you must have normal blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure and the pressure is not being treated, you are actually causing damage to your kidney. And you know what? The kidney puts out a very strong hormone that can increase the blood pressure. So when the kidney gets damaged and the filtration is not efficient, the kidney feels that the pressure in the kidney is not enough, even though the pressure is high and there has been damage. So it puts out the hormone in larger amounts, which increases your pressure even more. A good example is kidney patients. If you look at kidney patients, all of them have blood pressure, especially the ones on dialysis. So it is very important that you maintain normal pressure. Okay. Now the next thing is you must avoid taking anything that may be, well, poisonous to the kidney tissue. Now what sort of stuff? Let me start from the bottom. Heavy toxic metals. Now not all metals are toxic, some are. A good example will be mercury. Just to give you one source of mercury, many people have teeth fillings that are called silver fillings. Now it looks like silver. Those old fillings are actually more than 50% mercury. And every day we are chewing food with these fillings. So if you have heavy mercury fillings, you should speak to your dentist to take it out. That can affect your kidney. And similarly with other toxic metals like cadmium. Cadmium, the concentration is pretty high for smokers. Smokers have more cadmium in the body. And those who work with vehicles where they inhale a lot of smoke from the exhaust, you get a lot of cadmium, which is a toxic heavy metal. Okay. And of course, there are other heavy may come with the food, because now they find that some fish caught in some parts of the sea have toxic metals, not only mercury but even arsenic. So heavy metals form a very important part of our promotion in health of the kidneys. Avoid as much as you can. Living in the modern world, it is difficult to have 100% protection, but you must do your best. Now infection. Now this is more among ladies. Because your urine is shorter, the chances of infection going up is higher. Therefore, the first sign of any urinary trouble, you must go for a checkup. Make sure that the infection is treated aggressively and completely. Many people take treatment up to a point where they have relief of symptoms and they feel the infection is cured. Now, urinary infection does not always give you symptoms. You must check your urine to see whether the infection is clear. Okay, why? The infection may be at the lower tract, it may be in the bladder area, but with time, when it is cleared, infection can crawl up the tube into the kidneys itself. Now there are certain drugs. In fact, most drugs are eliminated through the urine or through the liver, the bile that is formed by the liver. But the kidney is also an important area. Now, most of the drugs approved for medical treatment are not toxic to the kidney. Very few are. And that one, the doctors don't use it easily unless they have to. What I'm talking about is drug abuse. Now, many of these drug addicts take all kinds of drugs. Now, those drugs, if a normal person takes it, it will not affect his kidney. But these drug addicts have very low or very poor nutrition. So the kidneys, in the process of trying to throw out these drugs, require good nutrition, and they don't have that. So what happens? The kidneys may be compromised. Okay, so we looked at poisons. Now, there are certain diseases which are known to cause damage to the kidneys. I covered high blood pressure. When the pressure is high, there is kidney damage. Let me deal with the uric acid before I come to the diabetes. Now, many people have uric acid, and I noticed that people who have uric acid, as long as they don't have symptoms. What symptoms? People who have uric acid may have painful joints, and most of the time the joints that are affected are the toes, usually the big toe. Sometimes it can be in the ankle, but it is usually in the feet. So if they don't have any pain, many of them continue with the diet that they have been used to, and they don't bother to check their uric acid. Now, when the uric acid is above a certain level, it crystallizes into sharp crystals, something like the pointer that you see here. And that's deposited in many places, not joints. The first place it gets deposited is your kidney. Now, can you imagine sharp things like this getting deposited in your kidney? With time, there will be kidney damage, not to mention that you can get uric acid stones. Okay, so if you have uric acid, aggressively control it. Check frequently, check your blood frequently to make sure it's within normal limits. Now, diabetes is a terrible thing to have. When compared to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes is worse than both of them, because diabetes affects all tissues in the body. Diabetes is a disease that makes you age much faster, makes your tissues age faster. The three tissues that it really hits hard with the aging process are the kidneys, the heart, and the eyes. Okay, so diabetes can affect your kidney very badly. Make sure that your sugar is under very good control if you have diabetes. Just take all precautions, your diet, your exercise. In case you're on medication, be regular with it and check your blood sugars regularly. If you keep your diabetes under control, the damage to the kidney is minimal, or maybe just like a normal person. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Now, at the end of the day, if you are looking at the kidney, it is an organ. It is alive. It needs nutrition. If it is a machine, you need repairs, anti-rust, changing the nuts and bolts. Because it is a living organism, you need nutrition. Therefore, this organ requires even more nutrition. Per cell, the amount of nutritional requirement in the kidney is much higher than many other cells because of the function it does, and it is evident from the amount of blood supply. 25% of all your blood supply goes to the kidney. That's amazing, actually. Now, when we take nutrition, I'm just listed the basics here. You must eat a healthy diet, because a healthy diet not only contains all this, but many other substances that may not be known. And therefore, in any healthy nutritional program, the number one important thing is a balanced, healthy diet. Make sure your diet has adequate proteins. Take enough fresh vegetables and fruits to get antioxidants and vitamins. Make sure that the food is not overcooked so that you lose your minerals. Okay? The Chinese way of preparing vegetables is just nice. Everyone else should follow that same technique. You need nutrition. Now, this is a very big subject, and I won't go very deeply into this. Today's diet, with all your best intentions, with all your best practices, still falls short. And that is why I recommend supplementation. Please understand the term supplement, or it completes your basic nutrition. It is not a replacement, it is a supplement. So make sure that your diet is good and you take a good quality supplement to fill in the blanks. They have found that if your basic nutrition eating habits are good, the supplement that you take is even more effective. Okay, and this is where I'd like to introduce the products from Vemma. We have a number of products, but in fact we have one product, and just a few words about our basic product, which is this. This is what is called the Vemma premix. What we have put inside there is the 12 basic vitamins that everybody needs. We have put in 65 minerals, plant-based minerals. Why I say that? Minerals are not easily absorbed. Many people still think that we get minerals from mineral water. The mineral water contains inorganic minerals. Now, if it is inorganic minerals, then it will not be used by the body well. Okay, let me stop here. I think Darren is saying the slide is still on avoid kidney poisons. Oh, we don't seem to have the problem this side. I hope you're getting your slides correctly. We are in the second last slide actually. Okay. Oh, okay. Your downloading line may be a little slow. Okay. Now, Vemma in this premix has put in 12 vitamins, A, B, C, D, E. Now, A, B, C, D, E is 5 vitamins. How do we have 12? Because the B is a collection of a number of vitamins. That's why it's called B complex. And we have put in all of them. What is very special about our B complex compared to any formula that is in the market? Ours is balanced. The B complex has about 7 different components. Each must be balanced. There are suppliers who provide you with 10 times your daily requirement. Now when you do that, and let's say all of them come with a high amount, if they are not balanced, you will have what is called a relative deficiency, and that will cause problems long term. So B vitamins, they must be put together correctly in a balanced way to get optimum results. You should not take too high a dose of vitamin B complex. That can cause overheatiness in the body, headaches and so on. What we have put in there is exactly what is needed by the body. Okay, we have the vitamins, we have the minerals from plant sources. We have also put in antioxidants. Studies show that if your antioxidants come from a varied source, not one source, like mangosteen or one particular fruit, if it's from a varied source, then it is more effective. So Vemma has put in antioxidants extracted from mangosteen, from green tea, and from aloe vera. So we have a very wide variety. One is a fruit, the other is a leaf, and the other is between a leaf and a fruit. I wouldn't say stem, but if you look at the aloe vera plant, it looks like the stem. So it's a varied source, and what you get in unit wise is your entire day's antioxidant. Now the antioxidant is measured by a measurement called ORAC. Now ORAC is not a direct measurement, it is an indirect measurement. However, that is the best that we have. And we have on a daily dose about 2,700 ORAC units. In other words, in each daily serving of this, you get 100% of all the vitamins A, B, C, D, E, your micro minerals, which are about 60 plus, and your antioxidants. Now, some people get a little, this is for young people, get a little tired of taking it like this. So they like something more exciting, more fizzy, more trendy. Now we have a preparation called WURF because young people like this, and young people tend to be more active. We have not only put in all that we have here into this, we have added a few more things to give them even more energy. We have put in certain types of sugars that specifically act on the cell energy system, like D-ribose. We have put in an amino acid called taurine that will carry over from the bloodstream into the brain that can give you alertness. And we have also put in a little bit of caffeine, which is equivalent to one cup of coffee of caffeine. Minus the sugar and the milk, it's only caffeine. So that makes this a drink which has Vemma plus that extra. Okay, so here is a drink that is modified for young people. Now it doesn't mean that old people can't take it. It's a fizzy drink. Many old people don't like to take fizzy drink on a continuous basis. You could take it as an alternative once in a while in place of the Vemma premix. Now the product that we have up here is exactly the same as this, but comes in smaller bottles. Each bottle is 1 day serving, ideal for those who are traveling, for those who don't like to keep pouring out. They just want to drink one small bottle and throw away the bottle. The next day it's a new bottle. So this is a preparation for someone who prefers their everyday serving separately. Okay, we have another product here. Again, we have all the Vemma contents here, which means we have your vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. What we have added is protein. Now each can that you see here, body, this silver colored and this blue color, one is for the daytime, the blue one is for night. So it has additional herbal extracts and protein. Now why do we design this? Because this product basically can be used not weight loss, fat loss. Many of us today have fixated ourselves with weight loss. We keep weighing and weighing. Now it doesn't mean that if you lose weight you have lost fat. Ideally weight loss should be fat loss. This is designed for that. Now if you would like, maybe you're already normal weight, can you use this product? Of course you can. Even after if you have lost weight or you're not an overweight person. You take Vemma, but you would like some protein. So that day you can skip Vemma and take body. But this is daytime, this is nighttime. So what's the difference? Now some people would like to have a restful sleep because there are quite a few people who do not sleep well. They sleep very lightly. Okay, if you are that sort of a person, you can get your Vemma and your protein from the blue tube. Okay, the herbs there will help to calm you down. You will have a much deeper sleep. But if you are the sort of person who would like to take this in the daytime, okay, then this is the right one for you, because this will not only give you all that is here plus the protein, but the herbal combination here will also help you to burn fat. In other words, we have one main product which provides you with all the nutrition you require, not only for your kidneys, but for your overall health. But we have packaged it in such a way that that basic product can be gainfully taken by young people, people who need to maintain weight, people who need to travel, or plainly a housewife who is at home and this thing is enough. Okay. Now all these products are easily available at your, whoever gave you that invitation, please speak to them. Now question. As usual, after each session we have a question which I will post to you, and then we will have the Q&A, and I've already got some questions coming in. So I will address the questions first before we go to the query where you are invited to answer for a free gift. Now, the first question I have here is, can kidney failure patient consume Vemma? If so, what is the suitable serving for them? Now, someone with kidney failure, they will be in one of three conditions. One, they are under medical treatment with taking a lot of medication. They don't need dialysis. They take medication, they have limitations on their diet, and they can drink any amount of water. The second type is also on medication, also on diet restriction, but unfortunately also on water restriction because they cannot pass out. Okay, so they may be only on 250 ml for the whole day. They got to be very careful. The third type is the situation is so bad that they have to go for dialysis. Okay, so we have three types of kidney failure. Now, this is one area we don't like to prescribe or suggest to consume Vemma. Once you are diagnosed with kidney failure, I would strongly suggest that you show our Vemma to the specialist who's treating you before you consume. Okay. By the way, the Vemma premix does not have any herbal extract. No herbal extracts at all. In fact, we don't even have any chemicals like preservatives, coloring matter, taste enhancers, nothing. Now, doctors who treat kidney problems are very sensitive to herbs. They don't like their patients taking any herbs. So you can show this product, and if they say you are allowed to consume, please go ahead. How much fluid should a person drink to prevent stone formation? Now, this is a good question because the answer is not quite straightforward. Earlier I said you need to drink a lot of water, which is true, which is the basic requirement. Having said that, there are some people who still form kidney stones. Why? The current thinking is that these people are born with some cells in their kidneys which do not act normally. In other words, they quickly deposit minerals to form stones. By drinking a lot of water, they reduce the chances, but the chances are not 100% eliminated. Okay, so don't think that I got a problem, water, no water, same lie, I will still get stones. No, the more fluids that you drink, the less the chances. By the way, there's somehow there's a belief that if you drink more water, you put on weight. No, water doesn't stay in the body. After a certain percentage, it just gets passed out. And this constant flushing of the kidney really helps. How does salt in the diet affect kidney stone formation? Now, salt, that is sodium chloride per se, does not affect kidney stone or does not help to form kidney stone. Salts such as calcium, excess calcium, salts such as uric acid. Uric acid is not a salt, but when it forms a crystal, it looks like a salt formation. So cut down on any excess calcium tablets you are taking. And this is for the ladies also. Many ladies think that to prevent osteoporosis, you need to take calcium tablets. Now, if you're taking calcium, you must take the proportionate amount of magnesium. Don't take calcium on its own. How much of magnesium? The range is calcium to magnesium is 2:1. That is a ratio. So most calcium preparations in the market today have already got magnesium, but you make sure before you get one and take it. We need, Darren has a question. We need to drink 2 liters of clear water, but coffee and tea not inclusive. How about Vemma thirst? Wow. Yes. Now, Vemma thirst is actually basically electrolytes. So you can count it as part of the 2 liters. I see another question. Can you revise what type of people can't take Vemma? Okay, that's a timely question, I would say. Now, okay, everybody can take Vemma. Who are the people who can't take Vemma? Only one group, kidney patient. You can take it if you are a cancer patient, you can take it with any other disease. I would say with pregnancy, this would be very, very helpful. But those who are going to take during pregnancy, please show it to a gynecologist and explain to them. You see, during pregnancy, there are so many unknown factors working. So if something goes wrong, very easily people place the blame on a food supplement. And they're not very wrong either, because if you're taking a food supplement with a lot of herbs in it during pregnancy, there can be problems. But if you're just taking vitamins and minerals, no. But it's good to have the gynecologist on your side when you do that. How does diabetes lead to kidney failure? Now, diabetes, what happens is there's a lot of sugar floating around in the body which is not processed into energy. And they find that when the sugar level exceeds a certain number in the body, this sugar reacts with protein in the body and deforms the protein. What do I mean by that? You see, there are about 50 over 1,000 enzymes working in the body. All enzymes are protein in nature. There's too much sugar floating around. It warps the enzymes, and therefore your biochemistry, your body biochemistry efficiency goes down. That process is called aging. Now in diabetes, all tissues in the age faster than it should. The area where the aging shows up quicker is your kidney, brain, and your heart. And this is where most of the time you get the effect. So in the kidney, if the kidney cells are slowly failing, that is damage. Now this damage goes on so quickly, as I said, you will not notice it, because one kidney could be gone and you will still feel normal. Now your second kidney, half of it gone, you will still feel normal unless you do some blood tests, you have done some regular blood checkup every year or something like that. So finally you will begin to feel a bit lousy when the last part of your second kidney is going. That is why you hear very often, hey, that guy was okay, he went for checkup, they told him, oh, both your kidneys gone, This is one of the reasons, because you have good reserve. So I would urge you, if you have any urinary problems, check it out. That is the earliest stage, okay? So how does diabetes lead to kidney failure? Damage which is not noticed early enough, and you get into failure. What are the signs and symptoms of chronic kidney disease? Now again, the same problem. You don't feel anything in the beginning. You feel okay, because this process is so slow, your body is getting adjusted to it. The only way you can find out in the early stages is a blood test to see whether your kidney function is normal. Now when the problem is already advanced to a certain level, of course, you begin to feel weak, you get nauseated, you might start vomiting, your appetite goes down. Now if these symptoms crop up and it is due to your kidney, it is actually quite late actually. So to answer that question, what are the signs and symptoms of chronic kidney disease? For a start, no symptoms. No signs and symptoms. The only way to find out is to check your urine, check your blood. What are the treatment options available for kidney failure? Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier there are 3 possibilities. If you have come to a stage where the kidney is failing, you need medical treatment. diet control, and fluid intake control. Okay, one stage medical treatment, diet control. Second stage, fluid control. Third stage, you have to go into dialysis. Okay, this is probably the second last question, is it? How does alcohol affect kidney stone formation? Surprisingly, many alcoholics have no kidney problem. Now, I'm not encouraging you to become an alcoholic or drink. For example, if you take a lot of beer, beer is a lot of volume. People consume 2 bottles, 3 bottles, so that's a lot of fluid. What happens is you tend to pass urine, and that can flush out your kidney quite well, beer. Now with hard liquor, it's another story, but it does not directly affect your stone formation in the kidney. Please remember, too much of alcohol is going to hit your liver very badly, and many people think it's only the liver. Heavy drinking, heavy regular drinking also affects your brain. A lot of brain cells die when you drink heavily. Kidney vein, okay. Any other question? Any last question? I'll just hold on for about 20 seconds to see any more question. If not, okay. Now, even if you have any questions later on, please drop in an email to me, Dr. Abraham at vemmaasia.com, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Okay, I want to thank all of you for being here today, and I want to remind you that we have another session. So I will pass it on to Michelle. Michelle has some very important announcements to make, and also the question where you need to answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, first at all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for the sharing tonight. We really learned a lot about kidney failure, anything related to kidney. So there's a good news for you guys. So before I end our webinar tonight, we are giving out the lucky draw prizes to 3 participants who provide the correct answer. So what is the question? So this is the question for the lucky draw. So how many millions of the filtering unit per kidneys? So if you pay attention to our previous session, you should know the answer already. So this is a multiple choice question. A is 1.2, B 1.3, and C is 1.4. So please submit your answer, your VID, and your name by sending us an email to ms@vemmaasia.com. I repeat, send to ms@vemmaasia.com. So we will choose 3 lucky participants, and they will win a Vemma merchandise. I don't want to tell what is the product yet. You will know it by tomorrow. So remember to send us your answer to ms@vemmaasia.com, and we will try to announce by tomorrow afternoon. Okay, lastly, I would like to remind that our next sessions of webinar will be on 26th of March, also Wednesday, with the interesting topic on growing skin from within. So lastly, I would like to thank everyone who joined us tonight, and good night.